Hello everyone and welcome to this week's episode of the Aftermath series. Let us waste no time at all and dive right into this week's episode of Critical Role. So we begin this episode in the aftermath of the legendary move pulled by Laura Bailey, where she then quickly ushered the rest of the party away from Asharnai's home, seemingly desperate and eager to get as far away as possible. Now obviously the rest of the party members were rather confused and nervous, maybe a little bit anxious about what Jester was saying. They were wondering what Jester could have said to Asharnai that would make Jester want to leave so quickly, especially since Jester was saying that she was able to break the curse that was holding Not. Bo showed particular concern because Bo was ready to literally walk away from everything and abandon the party and leave everything she's accomplished behind in exchange for breaking this curse. So she was a little bit uneasy about this newfound information of Jester breaking the curse. And so as the party made their way away from the home of Asharnai, the party was questioning Jester on what exactly she offered up. Jester explained that she would fully explain more once they've set up an adequate camp in this dangerous swamp. But before they could do that, the party was assaulted by dozens and dozens of these disgusting, deadly undead zombies with bladed fingers. Now these enemies weren't exactly too difficult to take down. However, when they were killed, they exploded in a poisonous mess that damaged everyone around them. So because there were so many, it posed a threat of killing too many and the party eventually just dying because, well, the AoE damage that these things were dealing to them. The party was able to successfully fend off this zombie horde by a very clever combo done by Jester and Caduceus. Jester cast Incite Greed, which caused all of the zombies, or at least most of them, to gather around her. Once the zombies gathered, Jester Dimension Doored away, gave the signal to Caduceus, who then cast Turn Undead and killed like 7 or 8 of them in one spell. Once those were defeated, they killed off the remaining stragglers and decided to set up camp still in this same area. However, because of all of this noise that they caused during this battle, more and more of these zombies came to their location. But with a quick use of Major Image by Ford, who created a young blue dragon, the remaining zombie horde was distracted and went towards this dragon. Once the battle concluded, the party was a bit confused as to why there were so many undead in the area, and with a successful history check by Beauregard, she uncovered that this area used to be the home of a cult that worshipped a Twilight Phoenix. Now, this does spark interest because this could very well be the Phoenix, or the purple bird, that the party discovered in one of the temples when they were traveling through the Lucidian Ocean. One of the 3 avatars of the Betrayer gods, Uk'otoa, the Crawling King, and this Twilight Phoenix. With the dome now completed, the party now has a place to rest for the evening, and because they are now safe, Jester decided to spill the beans on what exactly happened in Asharnai's home. The party was a bit skeptical at first, but also impressed at Jester's ability to pull this off. But Bo was still unsure of how to feel about the whole situation because, as I said before, she was ready to walk away from everything. And then the party brought up the fact that Asharnai may be able to restore her memory and figure out exactly what happened. And then what happens when Asharnai figures that out? Will she take it out on Bo's family? Will she hunt Jester down to get revenge? We don't really know what Asharnai would be capable of. It was brought up that maybe Asharnai will punish Bo's family, and that was the price that was going to be paid when Bo's father made his deal with Asharnai. But Jester came up with the idea that perhaps the price that was paid was all of the misery that Bo's father put his family and Bo through for all of those years. And during this conversation, as Bo explained her reasoning for wanting to walk away, Ford got a little bit upset with Bo. Understandably so, because he didn't understand why Bo would make such a selfish decision to just leave everything behind. Ford thought it was ridiculous that Bo believed that she's peaked and that she won't accomplish anything more. Caduceus even told her that there's many, many more great things that she's going to accomplish in her life. This isn't the end. Everything she's worked towards, this isn't it. This isn't her peak. Those were the sentiments that the party was trying to make Bo understand. And there was just a lot of wonderful Big Brother energy coming from Ford and Caduceus in this moment, trying to support Bo and make her see reason. The conversation then turned towards Not, as since the curse is now broken, they will be able to perform the ritual once again, and probably successfully. And so Not now has to make the decision, does she want to revert back to her halfling form, or will she stay adventuring with the party? She's rather conflicted because she does want to go back home and be with her family, but she feels that if she goes back home to be with her family, she'll feel bad about not adventuring with the party. But if she stays adventuring with the party, she'll feel bad about not going home to be with her family. So there's just all of this conflicting emotions swirling within Not. But she doesn't necessarily have to make a decision just yet, since there are other matters that the party can attend to before worrying about Not. So it would seem, at least for the time being, that Not is going to stay in her goblin form until the exciting events have transpired. The party then finished this exhausting evening with a group meditation led by Beauregard. It's kind of hilarious when you think about the party trying to meditate in the heart of this rather dangerous swamp while they're surrounded by deadly and rather disgusting zombies. But nonetheless, the meditation happened, and the party had a rather restful evening. In the morning, the party had to plan on what to do next. They ultimately decided to travel to Essek so that Essek may teleport them down south to where Caduceus needs to go. While they were in Rosanna once again, Not had the idea of hiring someone to take care of their house while they were gone. And so Not set out to hire Vidala, a eager young drow girl who the party then hired to take care of their house. While they waited for Essek to teleport them, Jester created a shrine for the traveler up in the top floor of the house where the tree has taken root. Yasha then also had a small moment with Sprinkle where it would seem that she's attempting to create some semblance of a friendship with Sprinkle. She tried to clean him off and give him a bath, but due to a poor animal handling check, I think Sprinkle is going to be a bit apprehensive in the future when it comes to Yasha trying to handle Sprinkle. Once Essek arrived at the Jor house, he teleported the party down south, where the party can now begin to make their way into the vast jungle to uncover the location of this oasis that Caduceus is seeking. As the party traversed this jungle, Matt had another skill challenge for them. Ford did attempt to intimidate the wildlife and attempt to scare off any predators that might cross their path. But in doing so, he stepped into a carnivorous plant, which they were quickly able to dispatch. Eventually, the evening came and the party had to set up camp before they could travel any further into this jungle. During the night, Jester decided to stay up a little bit longer to work on the tarot deck that Mollymauk had started. She began to draw the Hag and Maiden card. And as she was working on this deck, the Traveler appeared and beckoned Jester to follow him. Now at this moment, my anxiety definitely skyrocketed because, you know, we're not used to the Traveler just appearing out of nowhere like this, and he's asking Jester to follow him alone into the jungle, and with how mysterious he is and how their whole religion thing might just be a cult and we don't know his true intentions, there was just a lot of anxiety in this moment. But Jester willingly and eagerly followed the Traveler into the jungle, where the Traveler then revealed himself. He removed the hood, showing his messy mane of orangish red hair, which we all know to be a key trait to ARTAGAN. Yes, all of those theories have now been confirmed. The Traveler is ARTAGAN. But that's not what made this scene interesting. What made it so interesting is that the Traveler revealed that he has no idea what he's doing. And the only real reason he's become this sort of godlike figure is because of Jester. When the Traveler saw Jester as a young girl, he saw a familiar spark inside of her. He saw a lively spirit that he has in himself. He then formed a bond and friendship with this young tiefling. Jester, in a way, started the traveler on his path to seek out all of the other lost souls in Exandria and to show them the brightness and mischief of the world. And after the extremely bold move that Jester pulled in the last episode, the traveler feels comfortable with asking Jester for a favor. Again, the traveler reveals that he has no idea what he's doing, and he wants Jester's help with figuring everything out. And that is where Matt left us. The traveler is ARTAGAN, and he has absolutely no idea what he wants to do. He's found this new power because of all of these people believing in him, believing that he is some sort of god, and he doesn't know what to make of it all. And so now, after all of these years of the traveler guiding and providing counsel to Jester, Jester is now going to return the favor and guide the traveler on his path to figuring out what he wants to do with himself and what he's going to do with all of these followers. And with all of that being said, we are going to wrap up. Let me know all of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions during that episode. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful rest of your weekend, and I will see you all next week.